Okay, you can start.
Okay, welcome everyone, including Michael. It's good to see you here.
I come for the chili fundraiser.
Oh, so that's what brought you to town then. Good. All right, we have an agenda before us, motion to put it on the floor.
So move, Counselor Stevens.
Second, Richard.
And Rose.
Richard, did you want to add to the agenda the report? Discussion of the report or?
Well, that probably would be a good idea, Denise. It's not on, oh, I didn't see it.
No, I
Right.
didn't put it on the agenda.
All right, let's put it down there under communication. And it is the administration report dated the 27th. Thank you.
I missed.
You're happy with that, Derek and Rose?
Sure.
Is carried. Anyone have a declaration of pecuniary interest in what we have here tonight? Seeing none. I understand that Dale isn't coming. He's got an appointment town country, doesn't he? Okay. In case anybody's wondering. We have two previous council meetings that have not been approved to date. The one was from December the 18th, when we had a request for some clarification on whether some of the, or two in particular, motions were legal or acceptable. Denise has done a research and process, and her recommendation is that council minutes of the December 18th, 2025 be approved as presented, and she outlines her reasons for it. How do can we maybe deal with that one now, Denise, before we do the minutes?
If council wants to accept the report and approve the minutes.
I just think.
If you want to make a motion to approve the minutes, we can discuss the report later down.
Okay, well, that's what we're at then. If we don't need to deal with the submission until after, then fine and dandy, we can do that later. All right, so we now have to approve the minutes of December the 18th as presented.
I will make that motion.
Brian? Seconder?
I will.
Rose? Comments, questions?
Sure, why not? We'll start. I don't accept this report. Or these minutes. Yes. Denise has come back with a part of her procedural bylaw and parliamentary. But there's other aspects of those motions that are still illegal and are covered in this report. My question would be, how did the motions even get to the committee? They were never on an agenda. I've heard council say that, well, they came out of discussion in the meeting. Yes, they came out of the third line report, but that wasn't even a report yet. Was council's first time actually hearing the report, and it had never been accepted by council. So you cannot act on a report that hasn't been accepted by council. So motions cannot come out of a report that has not been actioned by council. So I still question the validity of those two motions, and I won't accept those two motions in those minutes. I still say they're illegal.
Anyone else comment or concerns?
I'll speak, Mr. Mayor.
Sure. Go ahead, John.
The report may have not have been accepted at that very point in time, but it was accepted later on in the council meeting as it was presented. But it's a known fact that both arenas run at a deficit. And it's common knowledge of that amount that we are in debt every year to keep both facilities running. It's common knowledge to staff and to most councilors that there's a problem in Spring Bay with the building that's there. And as far as the floor failing underneath it. So given those two scenarios without the input of even a consultant to have a look at Spring Bay Hall, and or not considering the report from the recreation infrastructure report, we know that the municipality is struggling to balance our budgets. And duplication of services have been happening for years gone by. So given that, the motion that was brought forward to try and bring overheads and costs under control, the motion to close down or shutter the ice rink in Providence Bay and decommission the equipment and save it by servicing it properly when you do close it down, lends itself to doing a budget control and managing the affairs of the municipality without duplication. So it has to start someplace. So to say that because the report was not on the table and this wasn't accepted is not part of the responsibility of this particular counselor and for others to be responsible people to the municipality and cut out the duplication of services. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Anyone else? Brian, go ahead.
Irregardless of whether we pass it or not, reading the report says that either. But the fact is, even if it was ruled inadmissible, within the next month, those motions in some form would be back on the table and be legal. So as far as I'm concerned, as a council here, we're just spinning our tires. We're not gaining anything, we're just not doing anything either. So I mean, it's just a matter of time. The same councillors that voted for this thing will put it back on the table and it'll be legal and we move on. The fact that that motion is set for 1 year from now, not tomorrow. There's 1 year for a lot of things to happen. A lot of things will happen in 1 year. Hopefully, the prime movers, either side, will get together in a room and perhaps come forward with a 5-year plan for this whole thing. And then we'll have to readdress these motions, which is possible by an amendment or another motion. This motion shouldn't be stuck on by words. I mean, this motion was put here so that this whole issue would get on the table and be discussed by people that are looking forward to having something moving ahead. We need a 1-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. This motion is the start of discussion. So sorry for being long-winded, but don't want to get hung up on this kind of stuff.
Anyone else? Well, if there's nothing more to add to it, I've been told that I can't speak to it because I'm in the chair, so I'm gonna have to hold my tongue. But we do, as you all know, have a meeting coming up on the 11th in Providence Bay, which will be an open meeting for discussions on these two issues. And hopefully we'll come up with some ideas and thoughts and plans and in that. So I'm looking forward to that portion of it. Anything else?
Take my rebuttal, but I disagree with where council's going with this without public input and putting these motions on the floor. Like I said, they were illegal. They should have never been put on the floor because they were never on an agenda. You can say that, yeah, we know taxes are going up and everything else. Yes, everybody in the municipality knows taxes are going up. But in my opinion, there's reasons taxes are going up. I think of this council hiring 4 brand new positions for employees at over $200,000 a year. There's a reason the taxes are going up, and they go up every year. So to sit here and say that, oh, well, we have to close down this, so we have to close down that without even consulting the public is wrong. The motion should have never been made in that meeting. If those motions want to be made in another meeting, because as some councilors say, they don't really care what's going to happen at the public meeting and the public speaking. But I say that those motions should come after that public meeting, and that these motions should not stand. They're illegal in my opinion. And I'll take it right to a lawyer if I have to. Because that's my legal right as a counselor to request a legal opinion over and above the clerk's.
But no,
Can we have a recorded vote?
we sure can.
On whether we're going to pass these minutes or not?
Options, Denise, if we decide not to pass it, can we withdraw those 2 motions and pass the rest of the minutes?
I'm only speaking to two motions.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have an answer to that, to be honest.
Because that was really
My
our
research.
hang up originally.
Well, I did my research and I will correct some of Counselor Stevens's. We are not hiring 4 new people. I don't know where you get that information. We have had staff turnover and we've hired people, but these are not new positions. These are filling existing positions. So I don't like the characterization that staff is pushing for more employees first. Second of all, where these motions were formed was in a committee structure. There is no standard form of motion that is already pre-prepared when things are discussed by committee. We receive letters, motions are formed on the fly within the committee structure. That's how this municipality has always done it. Those motions were based on a discussion that had previously occurred regarding a report. Yes, the report had not been accepted by council, but that being said, motions are formed before things are accepted by council, i.e. letters of request. The motion will be formed from the letter, and the letter and the motion then goes to council for acceptance. Things do not need necessarily to be accepted by council in order for there to be an actionable request from the information. In my opinion, the motions were valid. What council does with the motions is up to them. Once the motion hits the floor, the motion belongs to all of council. There can be a rescinding of the motion if there is a vote on it. Okay, the motion doesn't belong to one person. Yes, John did in committee structure as the chair formulate the motion. But that is not incorrect as per our current bylaw. It will be incorrect as per our new bylaw, because our new bylaw, new procedure bylaw, clearly states that the chair must remain neutral and is an arbiter and is ensures that the meeting runs smoothly. So therefore they cannot be involved in the debate. How can a chair who's involved in the debate be an arbiter for, a disagreement that breaks out? That's why a chair must remain neutral. That's why it's there in the rules of the Canadian Parliament. In my opinion, those motions were not illegal to be made as per our current bylaw. You have made motions as a chair, right? So it's not improper that a chair makes a motion. Since it was in a committee, a formulated motion was not required because that is in committee is where we formulate the motions. Your contention that the issue shouldn't have been made into a motion is invalid because we were just discussing the report. Yes, the report had not been accepted by council, but the discussion was on the table regarding the report and what was involved in the report. So you can request a legal opinion, but if you want the municipality to pay for that legal opinion, I must have a motion by council authorizing me to send this to legal. Because a legal opinion will probably cost us between $2,000 and $3,000. So if council wishes me to contact our legal to obtain a ruling on it, then council may make a motion on that.
Okay, anybody else wanted clarification on
I
something?
do want to say one thing. I'm not for the motion. I'm not against the motion. I'm here to do the will of council. I presented my report with the facts as I saw it. Okay, so I don't want council to think that because I ruled in Councillor Basalin's favor, that I'm in favor of the motion. I do my job neutrally, and I present the facts as I see them. I am not a supporter of either side. I'm here to do the will of council, and the will of council will be done.
Never say you do anything different.
All right, I think we have covered as much as we need to cover unless somebody has some quick word. If not, we have a motion on the floor to accept the minutes of December the 18th, 2025. And it's to be a recorded vote.
Yeah, Councillor Parker.
We will start off with John.
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
and Derek.
Against.
And
Your vote's not required, Richard.
well, I can't speak and I can't vote, so we'll just move on. All right, our next agenda item is the regular meeting of January the 15th. And you would all have received copies of that, and that was on the 15th of January. Motion to put them on the floor. Rose, Linda. Comments, questions on those minutes?
If I may, Chair,
Go ahead, John.
a bit of clarity in that motion is the decommissioning of the ice equipment, if I'm correct.
I think that was on the one from the 15th, was it not, John?
20 December one.
Yeah. Was it December?
Last one we just passed.
Okay, so let me ask a question as to whether clarity should be given for staff on the decommissioning of the equipment.
Well, the decommissioning wouldn't take place till after the end of March, that the ice was out of there anyway, so.
That's correct. That's correct. But the decommissioning seems to be having a problem as far as the descriptive explanation as to what is required and what staff is expected to do. I mean,
Staff can prepare a report with financial options. Later on, when we get a better handle on what level of decommissioning and what the cost involved can be. So I don't think any clarification needs to be done now until staff has brought a report back to council. So council can be fully informed as to what their options are.
very good. Okay, so we'll leave it maybe till next property.
Chair, I got one.
Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
On the adoption of the minutes, the previous minutes, is there anything have to be done there now? Because we've adopted minutes of December, where is it reply?
December 15th, 9th, rather.
Yeah, number 3, on the January 15th adoption of minutes. It discusses the previous minutes, so we have to do anything there. Like to make reference that those minutes were adopted, or,
We had a motion to adopt the January,
yeah,
for the
that's,
December meeting.
will it show up on, in the January 15th?
No, because they weren't adopted. The minutes of the January
were
fifteenth
just
have already been,
Okay, so the minutes of January 15th won't change at all then,
no.
okay?
The adoption of the December minutes will be minuted in this meeting's minutes.
Much,
Okay,
that's fine.
all right. Okay, so then, that's it. We've got that done and that motion was carried.
And have a vote on whether I get my legal opinion.
Do you want to introduce a notice of motion?
You should have had it, you said it would have to be a motion of council, but you get a legal opinion.
Able to introduce a notice of motion with a approval by the majority of council, if you want to introduce the council.
I would still like a legal opinion.
Would you,
It's a matter of principle.
You can do a verbal notice of motion at a meeting, that's acceptable.
Have to be at this meeting. Just happened.
Well, if council wishes to accept the discussion of the motion, they can vote as to the introduction of the notice of motion. So what is your motion?
Like a motion that we have a legal opinion on those two motions.
Does council wish to have that motion introduced for discussion?
Should that be a recorded vote? Mr. Chair?
yes, it should be a recorded vote since our last one that affected it was a recorded vote. But I'm wondering if we can have a compromise here and, wait until after, and this is to you, wait until after we have our public meeting in Providence Bay, when we'll all be a lot more advised and hopefully open-minded in what we hear and see down there. It's the service of these two facilities to the public that is at risk and of concern here. And we've had letters of unhappiness with the concept, but we haven't had an opportunity to discuss it, and that will be a bit more input and insight in what we can and can't do and what we should and shouldn't do.
I would wait until after the public meeting for the legal opinion on it, if that is your wish, Mr. Vick.
But I'm just throwing it out as if you're acceptable to it. I don't think we're gonna get a passage anyways, to be honest with you, so I wanna have an open door there. So if he's acceptable to that, then you withhold it until
How
we do the next property meeting when it comes up.
with it to the
From
council.
here, property is on the 10th and the meeting is on the 11th.
Yes, it's my suggestion that any discussion on decommissioning wait until the March property meeting. Because that would be after the public meeting and it'd be better for council to
Correct.
discuss it at that.
And the March, the rink will still be active until pretty much the end of March anyhow.
That's what the anticipated.
Yeah.
Timeline is.
Yeah, so that would be acceptable to me.
Okay, we will withdraw that process for right now and reintroduce it after the 11th. All right, let's move on. And we have no delegations or petitions. So we move on to our committees. The first one is our Office and Administration Committee held on January the 20th. And we have a motion that bylaw 2025-22, which is a petition policy, be given its third and final reading and be duly passed. Anybody home?
Yep. I'm home.
Rose?
Yep.
And John.
And John. Comments, questions on that motion? Anyone opposed? It is carried.
Richard, now Denise, with the new procedural bylaw. This is office and admin. So. Am I allowed, now that this has come to council, am I allowed to vote or to motion any of these?
Yes. Yes, because after, when a motion comes from council, like from committee to council, no one councillor owns the motion. Once Richard introduces it and it's on the floor, it's free for discussion by all, because the motion is then owned by council.
But you have just told us that. That
In committee,
in committee,
only in committee,
Only in committee, not in council.
yeah,
okay,
so,
Once it comes to council, it's my ball. I can't talk and I can't vote, but I have to.
but you can do so in all
But you-
committees.
But you can, and everybody else can, so.
If you wanna make a chair, a motion on, as chair in the committee, you would have to vacate the chair,
yes,
and then you
I
can.
understand that, yes, okay, thanks.
Okay, so now we will move on and we need a motion to support the motion from the city of Peterborough regarding substantial funding for the police service board.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor, Councilor Stevens.
Derek? Brian, you're probably interested in that, are you?
Oh, sure, yeah, I'll make this, I'll second it.
Comments, questions on that motion?
I just think that it's interesting that we're getting other municipalities that want to make sure that they have sustainable funding for the police services boards. But we don't even have any idea what the police services boards are gonna cost us yet, so hopefully this funding is pretty substantial, eh, Brian?
The whole thing is going to hell in a handbasket. Sorry.
When our police budgets have been going up by 11%, 15% right now. I know this board's gonna cost us money too, but we still don't know what it's going to be, so.
Any other comments? Anyone opposed to this motion? That is carried. And we need a motion to accept the donation report to December the 31st of 2025 as presented.
I'll make that motion, James.
Brian
Second,
and Linda. Comments, questions? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we need a motion to accept the year-to-date expense report for the Office and Administration Committee and the Safety, Security and Health Committee dated the 31st of December 2025.
John.
John
I'll second that.
and Rose. Comments, questions on either of those reports? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And on January the 22nd, we had a Finance and Economic Development Committee meeting. Motions are that by law 2026-01, which is a borrowing bylaw, be given its first, its second, and its third reading and be duly passed.
So move, Councilor Stevens.
Eric
I'll second it.
and Brian. Comments, questions? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we have a motion that bylaw 2026-02, which is an intern taxation bylaw, be given its first, its second, and its third reading and duly passed. Rose.
Yep. Seconded.
And Linda. Comments, questions, anyone opposed? Carry. And we need a motion that bylaw 2026-03, which is the taxation capping options taxation bylaw, be given its first, second, and third reading and duly passed.
So move, Councillor Stevens.
And Rose?
Can I have a brief description of this one? I had somebody from the public ask me this question today and I couldn't remember all the answers to it, so.
What the tax capping bylaw does, all municipalities used to be part of what was called tax capping, and this affected commercial, multi-residential and industrial properties. It's been around for, well, since I was a treasurer, 20+ years. We used to download the information from Remind, and then it used to cap specific properties from at a certain percentage, dollar% increase year after year. Slowly over time, these properties that, were capped were slowly weaned out of the system. Currently, right now, we don't have any properties within that tax capping system. But we're required to pass it, should the province then say that we have to kind of rejoin the system, and these are the properties, they will tell us what properties fall within these categories. That's determined by MPAC. So we need to pass it just in case MPAC determines that there are properties that fall within these categories again.
And they set what those properties are.
Yes, yes, they do.
That's, I knew it, but I didn't know it also. Thank you very much for that, Jim.
Anything else? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we need another motion for bylaw 2026-06, which is the fees bylaw, be given its second and its third reading and be duly passed.
I'll make that motion.
Thanks, Brian.
I'll second that. Rose.
And Rose. Comments, questions?
Both. I'd like this go to recorded vote. And I do know Councillor Scott is not here, but he had the same concerns that I did about bringing our rental properties up so fast. And why we couldn't do this in a two-part stage over 2 years and bringing our rental property fees up to that. I don't have a problem with the other fees that are in there and that, but our rental fees on our properties, I have a real concern that if we bring those fees up so fast that we're actually gonna lose rentals. And then our properties aren't gonna be utilized the same. And I know Dale had the same concern, and he's not here. But I'd like council to really consider that in this bylaw.
Okay, anyone else? Rose?
We're not getting a break from hydro. We're not getting a break from insurances. Are they saying, oh, well, you can pay half this year and you can pay half next year? And we haven't had a raise in the last 12 years, 10, 12 years, so. It's a business.
Right?
I think, through nobody's fault, maybe, the software that we're using, just sort of went out of date. We've lost a lot of revenue. With small organizations coming to us and saying that, they're not for profit or they're charitable organizations, we've automatically given them a break. We've come to the situation right now that we look at some of our revenues, even though we're not supposed to make a profit, we don't make a profit. But there's a difference between gently losing money and abruptly losing money. And I think we're in that situation right now that we have done the limit. We have gone from gently losing money to revenues of $2,000 or for a building for a year, and yet, but our expenses are 39,000. And I think we have to pull the difference, not to make a profit, we're not here to make a profit, but a little closer to, operating a little bit more efficiency. So I think, I do have concerns too of rents being jumped up, triple or whatever like that. But I don't think it's the intent of this bylaw to do that. And also, the organizations have the right to come to council and ask for a break or whatever like that. So there is avenues to it. So we're not just shutting the door and saying, this is gonna be your rent. Take it or leave it. So there are avenues for having their rents looked after. But no, we have to get together here. It all has to be pulled together, and we've got to make it so we gently lose money.
Like gentle yoga,
Yeah,
chair.
yeah, gently.
If I just make a little correction, it's not the avenue for a reduced rent. It's the avenue for a donation from council to support the rental of the facility for the group. And that way we can accurately reflect the amount of donations that council is providing to the community groups.
That's fine for groups, but not our ratepayers who wanna rent it for a birthday or an anniversary or whatever. Those ratepayers are actually paying tax dollars to support that building, and now we're gonna have double to triple the fees on those buildings. And they're the ones that won't be able to rent it then if the fees go up too high. Yeah, we say that hydro goes up and insurance goes up, but so does everybody else's plus their taxes every year. So, I mean, those things that they can do in life to make their life better and celebrate their family's events and stuff like that, that's where we're supposed to be supporting our residents. So by jacking them up too high, if they can't rent them, we're not gonna rent.
And John, go ahead.
Yeah, as we well know, it's, and I've already said it, the overheads for the community as a whole is high. And we're trying as council to reduce that. And I'll bring up the conversation of Vindemoya Arena, the Bird Arena, H Birch. That the cost of running that to the municipality is $127,000 a year. It is used 55% of the time, which is a lot more than Providence Bay, but still $127,000, and it's reflective in the usage in other halls and buildings that we have. If you prorate that loss that we have on those other buildings. But what we're trying to do is trying to minimize the cost of operating these buildings to the ratepayer so that we can try and control the increase that's gonna happen with taxes, because that's our only source of revenue to offset the debt.
Anyone else? I will call this vote, but I did Derek, you requested a.
Yeah, I'd like to quick, sure.
Okay, we'll start with Derek. Your name.
Oh, you're starting with me?
Yeah.
I'm against this motion.
Brian.
Or
Linda.
or it.
Rose.
Yes.
And what's your name again?
Jean-Paul, how's that? Yes.
All right, so if I take my numbers here, the motion is carried. Thanks, everybody. And we need a motion that bylaw 2026-07, which is a waste management bylaw, be given its second and third reading and be duly passed.
Oh, make a motion.
Rose?
Yep.
John will second that for you.
And John. Folks, comments, questions? As we did notice when we were doing budget, the fair bit of difference in our costs than what we originally anticipated, so hopefully the waste management plan is gonna work out and save us a little bit of long time money. Anyone opposed to this motion? It is carried. And we need a motion that bylaw 2026-08, which is a deputy screening officer bylaw, be given its first, its second, and its third reading and be duly passed.
I mean, that motion for sure.
Brian
John, a second, that, Mr. Mayor.
and John, thanks folks. Comments, questions on this position? Anyone opposed?
No, she was opposed.
Motion is carried. And we need a motion that the 2025 to 2028 strategic plan be adopted as presented.
I will make that motion for you.
Thanks, Brian
I'll second that.
and Rose. Comments, questions on that motion?
Long time in coming, but well done.
Derek?
Yeah, I'd like to say yes, a long time in coming. A lot of people don't know if they have one or don't have one. I think that there are people that would actually like to read it and have public comment on it. Not that it really is going to make that much of a difference, because we're only gonna have it for a year because it took so long to get. But I have heard comments that we are going to adopt this tonight and the public hasn't seen it yet. So I'm not sure if the public should have an opportunity to review this strategic plan or just wait for the next one, but I'd like to just throw it out there for comment whether the public should have the right to have a look at it.
Right.
We've had public meetings on the idea of strategic plan over the last 3, 4, maybe even longer,
4 years ago.
4 years ago. Whatever. But everything that's in this book was discussed at a public meeting. Nothing has changed except to condense it more into a more readable edition or a book. And I don't think that tomorrow we're going to actually open that book and start doing things out of it. There's gonna be a time that we will have to plan, and probably it'll be the next council that opens that book next and starts their 4-year plan or 6-year plan. But to say that the public has not had input into this is just not true. They've had more time to write, comment on it, go over public meetings. Yes, the original that did come out was thick and cumbersome to get through. This one is being condensed down to something that everybody can work with. It is a true strategic plan, but it's condensed, so. No different than other municipalities have done, so.
Well, I hope you're not right that it just goes onto a shelf until the next council comes, so.
Well,
I would.
we're coming
we're
to
gonna
the end
do
of our
something.
term, so.
Anyways, any other comments, John?
Sarah,
Did,
if I may, staff did an excellent job. It's a nice, it's better than what we had, and it's a good direction to go forward. So for us and maybe even for future council.
It's readable and.
Yeah.
Rose?
I was gonna say, she did an awesome job, British Digest version, perfect.
Anyone else? Anyone opposed?
I'm gonna have to get voted on principle.
It is carried. And we need a motion to approve the check register for the month of December 2025 in the amount of $673,056.75. John,
I'll second it. Approve. Yeah.
any comments and questions on that final check register of the year?
Yeah, I'd like to know if that was the way. Seems to be a low number.
Does he spend all our money on us?
Pardon?
Does he spend all our money on us? Is that
That
what
was the
you're
one
saying?
that seems to write the check, so.
Anyways, anyone opposed to this motion? We'll take what we can get, right?
Yes.
Carry. And we need a motion to approve the year-to-date financial report ending December 31st, 2025. And I think this is probably for both. Was this the one, the safety security? No, that was the one before. Okay, sorry. So then just add to this one, maybe Denise, that we approve the year-to-date financial report ending December 31st, 2025 for the finance and economic development. Linda. And Rose. Comments, questions? Anyone opposed? It is carried. Okay, no unfinished business. We go down to communications. And this is where we received the report from the office there from Denise. What do we do? Accept this, then discuss it, Denise?
Yeah, you can motion to accept the report, then we discussed.
I'd like to put a motion forward to accept the report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, John. Seconder?
I'll second that.
Rules. Okay, as we know, we did have a request for staff to do some research for us to determine whether the December 18th, two motions in the December 18th minutes were appropriate. Staff have done a good job, I believe, in researching what needed to be done. I have one question though, Denise. If you look on page 2, and you're doing the by item number 14, it says, it shall be the duty of the presiding officer, says CEO here, or that's the chairman anyways, or chair of committees, and then A is missing.
No, well, that's because they didn't pertain to the discussion. That was requested. So I didn't put in the whole section, I only put in the portion of the section that pertained to the report.
Okay, so it wasn't anything to do with what we were dealing with.
No.
All right, anyone else? All right, so we have a motion on the floor then to accept the report. No discussion? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we go down the row here to confirming by.
I'll make that motion.
That's right. Linda? Comments? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And now, I guess we'll go down to an adjournment. When our adjourner isn't here, so somebody's gonna have to step up, and Rose and John have them.
Rose and John.
Now that I know what your name is there, John.
He's been passed around enough, Mr. Mayor. What?
Anyone opposed? That is carried. Thanks, everyone. And have a safe drive home.
Votes.
Yes.
There's nothing.
Oh, there's one other one I did that. So, was that, yeah, so,
That's Denise.
hold on, oh, let me end this.
Part right, there wasn't anything.